horse shampoo?
Yes, it is.
Do you use this stuff on your hair?
Uh-huh.
For a lustrous coat. Does this actually work?
You bet your ass it does. Makes my hair shine like Orion's belt out on the ice. And then I brush my hair 100 times with this.
Wow. Cool brush.
Not just a brush, but a verticole. Handmade in Italy. They carve it out of illegal whalebone. They only make 11 of them a year. This one cost me $12,000 or 30 million lira. Perfectly balanced, low drag, minimal torque.
How minimal?
I bet you'd like to know. Hey, help yourself to the mane and tail all you want, but don't even look at the verticole, because I will knock your block off. No exaggeration, I could not love a human baby as much as I love this brush.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and now your host, AJ Orsini. Hello out there, this is your host, Mrs. O of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. Today we celebrate the 25th episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. To celebrate, we thought it would be interesting to reformat your regularly scheduled programming. I thought, what better guest to have on the 25th show should be than none other than Orsini himself. Tonight, I'm going to host the shit out of this show, as if I was Orsini himself. I'm going to interview the man behind the curtain, Orsini, and give you a behind-the-scenes glimpse of Orsini. I hope I don't let Orsini down, or his fans. I hope I emulate the best of Orsini and do right by the Orsini name. Tonight, we are going to discuss many topics such as Marvel, WWE, indie wrestling, expiring contracts, and breaking news from WWE just released today. Then I'm going to interview Orsini and break down his history and attempt to catch him off guard. Are you ready for me to catch you off guard?
I'm ready to go. Thanks for having me.
And lastly, we will do our RAFs.
I'm getting raft.
As fucks.
I'm getting
questions.
raft? That's
You're
awesome.
getting raft. However, it's going to be revamped, of course, because Mrs. O is running the show.
Revamped rafts.
Yep.
Re-rafts. I'm getting re-raft.
You're getting re-raft.
Okay.
All right, so
This
first, let's discuss Marvel. The new
That's
trailer.
what we're starting off with. Okay,
yes,
Marvel.
we're starting
Okay.
off with Marvel, okay? The new trailer for
Sweet.
Marvel Avengers Infinity War was just released about a day ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was immense buzz going on about this trailer.
Immense
I
is
had
an
differing
understatement.
opinion, of course, than you did, my counterpart. So,
Right.
first of all, what were your thoughts on the trailer? And then I'll tell you mine, because clearly, me being Mrs. O and you being Mr. O, I'm going to have a different view on it. I'm gonna literally, I'm gonna be like, you say yes, I'm gonna be no. But let's see.
We're
What
not
were your
always
thoughts?
like that, though. I
But
think
yeah,
we're like that here in this.
99% of the time.
99.4%.
So let them see one of the 99. Go.
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. I am a big fan. And as far as I've talked about the Marvel situation, you want to know my opinion about the trailer that came out? I had to remove my undershorts with a spatula is what happened. I love that trailer. I've heard the criticisms about it giving away too much or it's just too much going on at one time. It's just flooded, but I enjoyed it. I think it's supposed to be like that. 22 superheroes going to be in this movie they announced. One major villain, possibly a second little hidden surprise. We got a new surprise in the trailer. An old villain of Doctor Strange is showing up, so it's going to be all over the place. I can't wait to see it personally.
All right. Now my thoughts.
Now, what's the other opinion?
I didn't liked the trailer so much. I mean, I didn't shit my pants. I didn't get my hair raising like some people thought. It didn't give me goosebumps.
Because you have no soul.
I wasn't it.
Come on, it was an amazing trailer.
I felt like it was every other Avenger trailer. I didn't feel like it was any different. I felt like it followed the traditional format.
Why be different? I don't understand.
But I mean, it's like
the first two ones were billion-dollar successes.
It's the final.
It's not the final chapter. There's another movie. This is 3. There's 4.
So what's the next one going to be?
We don't know yet. It depends on how this one ends. It was supposed to be a two-parter.
It's the end of this story. Exactly. It's the end of this.
We don't know if it's the end of this story.
Who knows? But
they're supposed to cliffhanger
us
this
right
one.
now, it's the end.
No, it's
they
not.
They may do another one and not have it.
No, may
connect.
it's going to happen. It's already signed.
But it may not connect to anything that they've done so far.
Well, that would be stupid if it didn't connect. Because it was supposed to be a two-parter. I don't know if you remember that.
I didn't like
2018, 2019. It was supposed to be Infinity War 1 and Infinity War 2. Spider-Man and the inclusion of the Fox deal killed all of that. They re-scrapped all that. So I don't know for sure, to your point, if 2 of the second one will connect to this, but it would be pretty weird not to. Especially since the original storyline, Thanos wins. So Thanos has to win, I would assume, this movie, which would then set up for the big, that would be the big finale, and all these other superheroes can finally go home.
I don't know, but as far as a trailer, I didn't get so hyped from it as everybody else was. I mean, by the time I was watching it, like while watching it and at the end of watching it, all I kept thinking about were those series of videos you kept showing me. The video junkie, the guy who does like the voiceovers for
honest trailers.
Yeah,
for honest trailer, called honest trailers from Screen Junkie
about
on YouTube.
Was honest trailers, you know, like all I kept thinking or hearing in the back of my mind was
in a world
in a world where every superhero looks at the camera and stares mad hard into the distance.
Yeah,
or
I would
like,
love to hear him say mad hard.
Let me include every single close-up so you know exactly who's going to be in this movie, even though you've already seen them in the other Avenger movies. Or insert new gadget here and insert new stone there. Or show a possible death. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But a cliffhanger for a moment.
Well, that's the thing. You're going to get a cliffhanger.
With a quirky Marvel joke here.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
You know
what
I mean?
God.
Like, I just, all I kept thinking about was him in the back
Please
of my mind.
Please don't do that.
You know?
Please don't do that, Marvel. Please. Thor Ragnarok killed me. And for everybody on my page who keeps telling me that they love Thor Ragnarok so much,
shit.
That movie was trash.
It was complete shit.
Trash. And if they do anything close to that in this movie, I'm going to be so fucking mad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that crackhead or whatever
and
that dude directed it was not involved with this shit.
Is if they made, they made Thor Ragnarok so comical that if they turned it around and flipped his personality into a 180 and all of a sudden he became super serious in this one, I'm not going to take Thor seriously.
But that's the thing. Again. He was so serious before. The flip is what pissed us off.
Wrestler, heel face. Whenever
no, but he was never a heel. He was just an asshole.
The show needs him to be. But I didn't quite possibly.
If he lost his father, if he lost his home world, if he lost all of his people and lost his brother, he'd better be serious. What the fuck is he joking about? You see him in the trailer?
He was about to lose all that during the movie, and he was still comical.
Right, but that was at the helm of a madman. They had signed some asshole to direct this film and completely fucked the whole thing up. He's now in the hands of the real directors now. So I'm pretty sure they're going to cut back, at least cut back. They're too far in to completely 180 at this point. It was so jokey. That's just kind of how he is now. They have to please pull that shit back a little bit. Please, especially since I think the whole beginning of the movie is him with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're all completely jokey. Like, that was the critique, right? Thor Ragnarok was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That's what everyone kept saying. Well, how'd they fix that problem? They put him with the Guardians in the Infinity War. So now maybe his joke shit will fit into what they're doing, but they gotta pull that shit back. Too much laughing. No. Too much
ruined Galaxy for me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I just...
It's too much comedy.
It was for me.
Too much.
Unlike you, but it was for me.
No.
But something that wasn't for me was the
oh my
new
God.
series.
Great segue. Great transition.
It's what Orsini does best.
This is true. I'm like the king of the segue.
What didn't disappoint me though
Okay.
was the new Marvel season 2 of Jessica Jones. Now
I spoke a bit on that already. Yeah.
I know that last week you briefly talked about it, but since I binged watched it with you too,
You did.
I have some thoughts that I wanted to share.
So say your piece.
So,
Get it all out there for
you
the
know,
interwebs.
I know that you were talking to me, about the unidentified villain. And it's funny that you said that because while watching Jessica Jones, I did not once think there was an unidentified villain until you said, look at what they kept writing on the internet. Look at what people are saying about it. There's an unidentified villain. And then there was so much controversy on the internet. However, one thing I kept thinking about was that I love Jessica Jones for its realness. Like there was not an identifiable villain because Jessica is just like us. I mean, in real life, we don't have a villain that we face one or two at a time. Like it's called dealing with family who may or may not be dicks at the time. Or friends who may be douchey at one moment or do an asshole thing the next. You know what I mean? Like she was suffering from everyday shit. You know what
Jessica
I mean?
Jones' show is rich with douchery. There's a
It
lot
is.
of
It is.
douchebaggery
You
in
can
there.
connect with it. Like you may have a friend who uses you, or you may have a friend who's not there for you, or a mother who you would not give a mother of the year prize to, but may risk their life for you. You know what I mean? Like it's shit like that. Like people do fucked up shit to you all the time, and you forgive them for being a wishy-washy type of person, but it's about facing, the situations that arise. And it was just everyday shit for her. It just included the fact that she was superhuman.
No, but like to
and
that,
now another family member was superhuman.
it was like to the
You know?
nth degree. Like all the bad shit that can happen to one person just continuously keeps happening to
Well,
her
that's
over and
life.
over and over.
I mean, some people go through continuous shit every day, and it's called depressed people because they're wondering how the hell they're gonna get out of it. But like, shit happens. So, I agree that there was no unidentifiable villain, and I love Jessica Jones for that. You know what
I just want to give props. We had looked up her name and I completely forgot, but the lady who played her mother on the show, woo, holy crap!
Oh yeah,
She had to out
We
Jessica
did.
Jones. Jessica Jones. She
did.
and it became the Trish show.
Hold-
This season was the Trish show.
Hey, don't steal my shit now, okay?
Don't steal what shit.
Okay, remember, you're Orsini toned down a bit, and I'm Orsini toned up a
You're
bit.
Jessica Jones' mom right
Okay.
now. You gotta out Orsini.
I'm going to try to out Orsini. So, first of all, do you agree with me that it was okay to not have an identifiable villain, or do you follow the rest of the sheep on the internet and you want an identifiable villain?
I prefer an identifiable villain, but if you're not gonna have that, you better have some damn good writing to support the rest of the script, and they did. I felt like even though there wasn't one identifiable villain, I felt like all of them took a turn being the villain. Everybody at some point in time was the asshole. Trish more so than the rest, but for the most part, even Jessica Jones had her day in killing
Exactly.
and killing that guy.
I completely agree with you that Trish more often was the asshole. And I think that's just because for half of the show, I literally felt like it was half. I felt like the last 4 or 5 episodes was literally just setting up a spin-off making Trish Walker Hellcat. But what I liked about it is that it was trying to give you an origin story inside of Jessica Jones's story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like the fact that, an origin story was in someone else's main event. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's what superheroes do. You know what I mean? Like what they do affects somebody else and either turns them into a villain or a hero. So in turn, the shit Jessica Jones was going through affected her best friend Trish. You know what I mean? And then it thus became her origin story on how she became who she became. And it was through the help of Jessica Jones, or not through the help of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, reluctantly.
Reluctantly.
She tried to stop it.
But I like that there was they were mixing stories together, an origin story with somebody else's story.
Well, that actually led to some of the criticism I read because it was people felt it was a little too all over the place for a while there. where it was just like, oh, it's about Trish. Oh, wait, no, it's about Malcolm. Oh, wait, no, it's about Jessica. Oh, wait, no, it's about the Chinese dude. Oh, no, wait, it's about her mom and the history of her backstory. It's just, for some, I thought it was well done, but I could see the criticism of them, of the show, just focusing on this person and this person.
I don't feel like it was about Malcolm
even the
at
lawyer,
any point in time.
Even the lawyer, I forget her name. The one who was sick.
She was just a good supporting actor. You know,
no, but she had her own little side story with the hobo and the whatnot.
She did, but what I was reading online is, of course, she had to, you know, have her own strong position, because she, at the end, took Iron Fist's company with her. You know what I mean? The Rand company. So, I mean, they're showing that she is going to be a big part in Iron Fist. And they were just like cementing that. You know what I mean? That was just something that they were letting you know. Hey, yes, we put her in Jessica Jones, but you're really going to see her on this show more. You know what I mean? And Malcolm, I didn't really feel like he was a focal point at all. He was where he needed to be, when he needs to be. He was used by who he needs to be used by.
Oh, but they gave him his shot.
But they gave him something at the end. They let you know that as soon as he got with Chang, that you're going to see him in the other shows. So now he's going to be like the lawyer. You're going to see him, you know, sprinkled in vicariously in all these different episodes and the other different shows. So I like that. I like to see more of Malcolm in his small bit role where he should be.
It's come a long way since Power Rangers RPM, I'll say that. The haircut and the suit.
Oh, wait, no. Orsini wouldn't say that. My bad. Let me take that back.
You don't know. You can't assume my gender. Look at your face.
I can assume your gender. If I'm Mrs. O, what the hell would you be?
It's all a lie.
Mr. O.
It's all a lie. It's all a facade for the fans.
Okay. But enough about Marvel now. Okay.
Because I only do Marvel like every week.
You do, but you know what? Every week something else is coming out now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And in May it's going to be a big month. April and May is going to be a big month.
I shook it up last week.
You know
I talked about some other movies. Ready Player One, Tomb Raider. So yeah. I'm mixing it up a bit. I'm trying to. Try not to show my bias so much anymore.
Well, let's show where your heart truly lies, and that's into wrestling. So
professional wrestling,
something we both love and hold dear.
We do both love it. You come a long way.
I have come a long way, but let's
I like
talk
that
about
shirt you're rocking right now, by the way.
Fabulous.
They can't see you because it's audio, but you're rocking a pretty interesting shirt. What's that shirt you're wearing right there?
2KW all the way.
TKW Pro, baby.
So let's get back to the fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal.
Let's not get back
now,
to it.
I remember you last week, you know, talking about it, and you know, you mentioned how you, as well as many other fans, thought about how fucked up it was to name the Battle Royal after her.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned it, like the way that you just explained it right there. It at the time that I did it, it seemed like that. It seemed like the overall majority kind of seemed like it was kind of a bad idea. Come to find out, as time has passed on, it seemed more split than anything else. There were actually people still defending it, or who were actually going on record saying they just don't give a shit.
I think, yes.
They're just like, well, what do I care? It happened like 50 years ago.
I think the people who were defending it is the same reason why. Okay, so when I was thinking about it, this is the way I was thinking about it. All right, so last week, you, as well as many other fans, thought it was fucked up to name, you know, the Battle Royal after her. You did not think at all. You were like 100% sure WWE is not gonna fucking change the name. You know what I mean? They
as against it as I was.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
knew. I thought that maybe after the Battle Royal they would start to think maybe we shouldn't involve her, but I didn't think they had the guts to change it.
Exactly. But then right after you did the show, the very next day, they made a retraction and it was renamed WrestleMania's Women's Battle Royal, using a tweets, of course.
Vague.
Social media. And Stephanie McMahon tweeted, "Thank you, WWE Universe, for using your voice. What remains most important is that WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal will be a historic match and is part of the WWE's unwavering commitment to our women's division." Okay, right. I agree with her in part, okay? Like, I understand that, you want to name future tournaments or battle royals after previous women who paved the way. And yes, like, you can't talk about the women's history in wrestling without talking about Moolah. Like, she comes up. You cannot, like, completely erase her from the books, because you'll be taking a big chunk of what made the women's division or what led it there.
That's what's sickening about it. You can't.
That was the foundation. You can't get rid of the foundation. You know what I mean? Like, you can always put new flooring on top of it, but you can't get rid of that underpiece. So, like, I just feel that sometimes WWE feels that sometimes their fans are stupid and they don't do their homework, or they won't believe every rumor they read that's true, on the dirt sheets, or, but
those dreaded dirt sheets.
Exactly. However, some rumors are true, and everything that you said about her was true and confirmed by several wrestlers. So I was kind of trying to think of it like, or compare it to something else, and like those stupid damn statues that were popping up all over the place, and everybody was like, I want to share my opinion about this statue. That person,
like the Confederate things.
Yeah, the Confederate thing. Okay. That statue should be torn down. That statue should be torn
actually,
down.
It's a really good point. I never thought about it that way.
And the thing is that those people made a prominent, like, they were a prominent part in history. They made a marker. Some things would not have happened without their actions. But you own a slave or two, and now we need to take your statue down. You know what I mean?
That was literally the most nonchalant anyone has ever said that sentence. But I read.
So I just feel like we're living in a day and age now where fans think, or people think, as soon as I share my opinion, a company has to listen and take action and do something about it. Not necessarily. Not every company needs to take action. They can ignore your ass. And they
oftentimes do.
Yes,
Stephanie
McMahon could have ignored them. However, I did like the fact that she was just like, look, at the end of the day, we just need to realize, or go back to the point of why we were even having this thing. As fucked up as what Moolah did, let's get back to the real part of, we just want to honor, the women's history and legacy, and talk about their foundation. You know what I mean? And so I think it was just easy for them to just change the name and just like, okay, we'll change it, no problem. But now I feel like this is a slippery slope. You now told the fans, we heard your voices, and now we retracted it.
That's the part that hurts them. Yeah.
They want to share their voices. Are you going to listen again? Like,
that's the part that I think hurts them, because I think the best route for them would have been either just to tell the truth, or just be rid of the name and not really explain anything. It would have been better off.
Just do it under the radar.
If they to needlessly, first of all, you lied to the fans, because it wasn't the fans that changed it. If you would have taken Stephanie's tweet and replayed it at WWE Universe and replaced it with at Snickers, it would have been a factual tweet at that point, because it was Snickers that got them to change it. It wasn't the WWE. Let me not say that. It's the chicken and the egg conversation. I was debating this online. It's like, was it the fans who complained to Snickers and got them to change it, or was it Snickers itself that made the decision, which is hard to believe, because I'm pretty sure Snickers doesn't have a fond history on the fabulous Moolah, so I'm sure it was the internet that, everyone reached out and complained. And so it's the chicken and the egg. Was it the fans at the Snickers? Whatever. The point is that had Snickers not gotten involved, they would not have changed the name. Those are facts. Okay, so for her to go on the internet and say thank you for voicing your opinion or whatever the case, you're lying for no reason. You should have just left it alone. I don't even know why you gave the fans that W, because now, like you said, that's where the slippery slope is. It's not the changing of the name. It's giving the fans the power, or giving them the sense, that you're the ones that did it. Because now what's going to happen is you're going to get hashtagged every fucking week. Everything they don't like is going to be an explosion. It's going to be, you have to change this. This is bullshit.
Listen to me. I know how to book now. Hashtag fan.
Because the facts are, there are a lot of shady people on this planet. And I'm pretty sure if we took a comb and went through the Hall of Fame, we'd see a lot of shady motherfuckers. So if Moolah was an easy target, all you had to do was Google for about 10 minutes and you could find a ton of shit on Moolah. But for the ones who really kept it under wraps, it's a slippery slope. It's the same thing for any Hall of Fame. If you go into the Baseball Hall of Fame, I'm pretty sure you're going to find some racist motherfuckers in there. If you go into the NFL Hall of Fame, I'm sure you're going to find some wife beaters in there. You know, you just go down the line. So, like you said, slippery slope is it wouldn't have been a slippery slope had she not opened her mouth. She didn't need to tweet anything. Just change the fucking name, get rid of the fucking trophy, and be done with it. Right? Yeah.
Nobody would have noticed.
Trust me, the fans would have taken the victory all on their own had they put out another graphic the next week and it said Women's Battle Royal and had nothing to do with Moolah. Believe me, it would have been all over the internet. Oh, they would have taken the fucking credit anyway. You did not need to go out there and give them the validation of doing that because now, forget it, it's all over the place. And I did speak before. I spoke out of turn because I should never had said that they never would change it because they have done stuff like that in the past, but it's always for the same reason. It's the money. As long as the money is good, as one of my favorite quotes of all time, the great Scottie Pippen, you know, if the betting's good, put the money on the wood. Okay, that's a quote that he actually said, and I think it's very, very true. Money is a big factor in all this shit. It's the reason why they got rid of the pyro. It's the reason why we're in Saudi Arabia. It's the reason why they're doing everything they're fucking doing right now. It's all cost cutting. It's all money related. So when Snickers pulled the trigger and sent them the emails, of course they're gonna jump at it. But it would have been easier just to say that. To be honest with you, it would have literally have been easier just to say, hey, our sponsors stepped up. They showed a concern about, you know, who we're doing a tribute to and a memorial to. For right now, we'll just rename it, and then we'll come back to this at a later date, and then you never have to talk about it again. Or, easier method, don't say shit. Just change the fucking name, change the fucking graphic. Unfortunately, you're going to have to get rid of that god-awful fucking trophy you made and go about your business. Jim Cornette spoke about this little situation not too long ago. And I was waiting for somebody from the old school to say some shit. I mean, some people who genuinely knew Moolah, who didn't have a fucking axe to grind, someone who didn't have a fucking genuine bone to pick with her. You know, because that's how a lot of this shit, you've been around wrestling locker rooms before. You know how this shit starts. One guy gets pissed off. He's talking to the next guy. And next thing you know, there's 50 guys pissed off at this guy, and none of them even know the guy. So I was looking for someone who's got no horse in the race, you know, who's not really biased on either side to comment on it. And even he goes, I would be surprised if Steph even knew the shit. Because when Steph grew up, that was just Grandma Moolah to her. No one sat Stephanie down and just said, yeah, she used to help people get raped and beaten and shit. No one told Stephanie that shit. That wasn't common knowledge for her. I'm pretty sure when all this shit hit, she was probably stunned by it. This is him saying this, not me. But as a rebuttal to that, if I could, if Stephanie didn't know, Vince did. Vince had to have known. I'm sorry. That's not an excuse.
First of all, but people talk between the sheets. And even if she didn't know, Triple H could have told her. And if Triple H didn't originally know, you know Vince told her.
That's what I'm saying, exactly. You know what I mean? Vince knew.
She knew.
Vince knew.
She knows. She knows now. She may not have known when she was 12.
Right, I said this on
8,
Facebook.
But now when she made the decision, she fucking knew.
I said this on Facebook. I don't believe for 1 second the WWE didn't know this. The problem is they didn't know that you knew. That was the problem because they've been doing Fabulous Moolah shit for forever and nobody had a problem. This was literally the first time that a majority of people had a fucking problem with it. I don't know what made this situation different from literally all the other times. Just a few years ago, we had an old school Raw where Moolah and May. I mean, come on. So it's not the first. I mean, WWE's been doing this shit for forever. I'm sure when they put the toe in for Mae Young with that classic tournament.
I think because naming a trophy after somebody is a really great honor, not just bringing somebody from the past as nostalgia every now and then. It was like cementing and really,
I don't think people genuinely knew the last time we saw Moolah, which I think is the real crime. I don't remember. I don't know if you heard what I said last week, but I think that's the real crime because according to Moolah's knowledge from the day that she died, she got away with all this. She was never confronted about any of this ever. She's dead now, and now people are jumping. It's too late.
Why?
Now.
Because she was probably so intimidating that nobody would ever come up.
She owned the business. Like, she owned the business for almost 40 years.
She caused this person to be raped. Or you stole money from this person. They would never come up to her.
She owned the business,
and probably the fact that she was a woman, they wouldn't confront her on that too. But she didn't act like no woman.
I don't want to keep talking about it. We said what we had to say about Moolah.
Let's segue like Orsini does.
Hashtag segue.
And
hashtag
those same people who think that they won the name change are now petitioning for it to be named after, and you even put a meme on this on Facebook, after China.
Oh,
that
don't
even
get
a
me
fucking
started
idea?
on this shit. Don't
What
not
was
get
that?
me started
Now,
on
again,
that.
I understand she made a mark. You really can't
Who
talk
made
about
a mark?
the
You talking about China?
China. You really can't talk about the history without naming her too. However, again, her past is tarnished, and we still see her shame on the internet. Okay, so it's not like we don't know what.
No,
the hell
but see,
she's
this
into.
is the
Okay?
difference. There's a difference between what China did and what Moolah did. Moolah got
didn't take it in the butt.
Moolah. I'm sure she did. Throw women's name on the table and show me when they didn't. I'm just saying, with Moolah, she caused distress for multiple generations of women. China just distressed herself. She didn't fuck nobody else over. She literally got
distressed
fucked.
my eyes.
My
No.
eyes. She ruined. She gave me many
Did I
sleepless
say
nights.
anything?
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. Because women don't watch porn.
But okay,
Even Pornhub has
but-
related videos.
But
I'm just saying.
But let's be serious. If
I didn't click the video. I just had my mouse hovering over it. I saw like 7 or 8 stills of China getting boofed.
you know, as soon as you click celebrity porn, I mean,
Word,
you
yeah.
scroll through, you just
Underneath
kinda see her.
Kardashian Anderson and what
No.
appeared to be one of my favorite Atlanta housewives was China.
But in all honesty, like if they were forced to rename it after somebody and not keeping it general by calling it WrestleMania's Women's Battle Royal, and they actually had to name it after somebody else, who would you rename the Battle Royal after?
If I could pick another female?
Why would you name it after male?
No, I'm just... You misunderstood, but okay. I get it. I'm going to be honest with you, and this is... I hate to keep going back to this, but this is part of the problem with Moolah, is that you really can't go in any other direction except for maybe Trish Stratus. And that's as far back as I can go, and that's not that far back. She retired in 2006. That's one of the problems. Listen, you said that Moolah was the foundation. She's not. There's another lady before her.
But they already named something after her.
No, they didn't.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Mildred Burke. The pioneer.
Explain.
Yeah.
Never heard of Mildred
Okay,
Burke.
yes. She
Wait,
was
Burke?
Burke. Burke. Mildred Burke.
All right, go.
She was the
School me
she
on the
was-
old school shit.
She was the sensation before the days of Moolah. As a matter of fact, Moolah got the rub from Burke. Burke was on her way out, did the favors, passed the torch to Moolah, and there goes the Hitler run of terror for the next 40 years. But Mildred Burke, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure people will correct me, June Byron was like one of her main feuds back in the day. And they used to draw houses as an attraction. I got this. I know who these people are, but some of these facts were ran off by Cornette in that promo that I heard. Where we're talking about 6,000 people a building here to see these two gals go at it. They were quite the draw back in the day.
But you see, like I didn't know who she was. So
Right.
what would have been a great opportunity for, like, it's Women's History Month.
Right.
Why not introduce a new female that maybe most of their audience currently have not heard about, and did a little package on her to kind of school them.
You could have done.
In the
You
past.
could have done Wendy
You know what I
Richter.
mean?
You could have done
and
Sensational
name it
Sherry.
after her.
You
She
could
was
have
probably
done.
more positive
You could
than
have done
Moolah.
just strictly, completely, 100% old school. You could have done Wendy Richter. You could have done Sensational Sherry. I'm not a huge fan of this person, but a lot of people seem to be. So maybe it wouldn't have been a bad road to go. But Miss Elizabeth would have been another realm for them to go. Now Miss Elizabeth had a bad ending, but for the most part was a pretty pristine. Had a pretty pristine reputation up until the Coco D. Up until the end, she had a very nice, pristine reputation. Sensational Sherry is one of those multifaceted talents. She could have been good. Luna Vachon would have been good.
It sounds to me like anybody else could have.
No, not anybody else. Because someone like, for instance, like if you would have
You just
thrown...
rattled off a lot of names. Who would you have named it after? Choose one.
If I had to
Not
pick
many.
one, that would have been like an oddball selection. It would have been just paying straight up tribute to this person. As a I'm sorry, I probably would have done Wendy Richter because of again, like maybe that would have been a nice solution for the controversy. Like, okay, we're going to remove Moolah's name. We're going to honor somebody else. Let's honor, Wendy Richter, because she has a history with the WWE, former women's champion. She was the one that was screwed, legit, the original screw job by Moolah in the Garden all those years ago. That would have been a nice way to fucking flip it, because that's where everybody was mad about. She fucked over all these people, where here's the one person she fucked big time. So here's our way to fix this. Forget Moolah for a second. We'll revisit that another time. We're going to change this one to the Wendy Richter Battle Royal. I don't think any woman in that Battle Royal would have had a problem with that. She's very well respected in the business. Former champion. That would have been a nice connection to Moolah in the positive sense, because now it's righting a wrong. Because let's face it, folks, we just said a second ago, Vince definitely knew about Moolah's history. Who do you think made that decision? You think Moolah went into that ring, went into her business for herself, and then reigned as champion for 10 years without permission?
Not only that.
Okay, so then, yeah.
But let's think about it like this. If Moolah was not dead, would she even have approved something being named after her?
Because remember, in her mind, she didn't do anything wrong.
Now,
she did everything else.
Would she have taken to Twitter and saying, fuck you guys?
You know what's funny? Not only do I think she would not have been mad about the Battle Royal, I think she would have been mad about the Mae Young Classic. Because as close as those two were, she always needed to be one while Mae needed to be two. And the funny thing is that nobody feared Moolah. They all feared Mae. Moolah had power, but Mae was the tough one. Mae was the one that fucked you up. Mae was an enforcer. She used to be an enforcer for men. She'd beat up men. For real, as a shoot. She'd fuck them up and collect money like a real bouncer, break your fingers by the docks type shit, like Rocky Balboa shit. People were afraid of her. Legit. Guys were afraid of her. That's why she took all those sick bumps. Remember, she was the one that got powerbombed off the stage. She was the one who wanted to wrestle at 100 years old.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Exactly. She was Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax. Hello.
Oh, shit.
The present day reveals itself. Exactly. Moolah had power, especially with her husband, Billy. What was his name? Billy White Wolf, who was a serial alcoholic, serial rapist, serial beater. He beat her, but the way they went about their business is that he would beat her and she'd thank him for it. You know, she was the one who not only told people that she went into a door knob, she'd provide photo evidence. She was really about this guy. So, their history is extremely checkered. And this is not me just making shit up out of the air, folks. I've been hearing this shit all week, and I'm not making it up. I'm hearing it from people that are in the know, that have been there, that were in the room, that knew the motherfuckers that we're talking about. This isn't, because this is one of the biggest things I heard online. Well, she was never convicted of a crime. Because if you kill someone and don't see a judge, you're good. You're innocent. You're an innocent person, regardless of who saw it. Right? 20 people can see you kill my mom, but if you don't go before a judge, you're an innocent person. That's bullshit. I don't give a shit what the law says. A bad person is a bad person. A douchebag is a douchebag, and she was the queen of douchebaggery for many years, decades. See, you got me still harping on this shit.
All right.
I don't want to keep. We spent too much time already.
Exactly.
This is
exactly. So moving on.
Yeah.
Okay?
We got other shit to talk about.
So, the next thing I wanted to talk about, and this was something that you brought up the other day to me.
I'm just glad you didn't have me talking about China, because I would have really ruined lives.
About celebrity star power.
Don't talk to me about Kid Rock.
You were talking to me the other day about the Rihanna and Snapchat. Now I'm not going to talk about Rihanna and Snapchat.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is make a connection.
Although it is funny.
I'm going to make it a connection to something else.
Okay.
Again, wrestling related. So Rihanna used her celebrity star power and crushed Snapchat, which is one tweet.
Crippled, yeah, exactly.
So putting power in the phrase, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Right.
So
good line,
my question for you is, do you think Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks have the celebrity star power to successfully pack a house with 10,000 people on September 1st in Chicago?
This is going to sound hypocritical because I talked about this last week. Do they have the star power alone? No. Do they have the ability and the resources to gain enough star power to combine with theirs to fill it? Yes. Now, here's the thing. This is why I think they're going to be successful. I said this last week. Mm-hmm. They're not starting a company. It's a one-off. It's one big show that they're trying to do just to prove that they can do it. And I think there's enough fans.
Think alike, because that was my next question.
I think
what do you think they're trying to prove?
Like I said this last week. I think that what they're trying to prove specifically, because they've said it, is they want to fill a 10,000 seat building, and the reason why is because nobody really does. Ring of Honor's most boasted building came not too long before. I think it was Death Before Dishonor earlier this year. 4,500 people they touted. That's a big number. You and I used to go to the Rexplex in front of, with 200 people to go see Ring of Honor. So the fact that they're doing 4,500 on television now, and they're doing all these things on iPay-per-view and all this cool shit is awesome. But at their pinnacle, it's 4,500. Mm-hmm. And Ring of Honor has the Young Bucks and Cody and a bunch of other great stars, and they don't have the capability of filling it. So it's going to be tough. I've heard people say the New Japan stars, if they can get the New Japan stars or whatever resources. I said last week, I said it clear as day, I stand by it. They need Punk. Absolutely need him. There's no other option. I don't give a shit if they have Kenny Omega. There's no matchup. There's no variation that you can use with Kenny Omega that will draw 10,000 people aside from first time ever Kenny Omega versus CM Punk. Now, I don't know. Even if they get Punk, I don't think he can wrestle because of the contract that he has with UFC. I think he has a non-contact contract. I'm not sure. I think the best they can do, an appearance, maybe special referee or enforcer for the match. If you could do Kenny Omega versus Cody, which is like the big feud right now on the indies, if you can do Kenny and Cody with like Punk as an enforcer or a referee or whatever, huge. I think that puts them over the top. You have a stellar card. I mean, the Briscoes, you take Tanahashi and Okada from New Japan. I mean, you just pack the card, but you headline with Punk, Omega, and Rhodes, or even Omega straight up versus Punk. You that building in Chicago, that building's gonna fill. Yeah.
You don't think they would ask AJ to do anything?
AJ who?
Get that rub.
Lee?
Yeah.
No. They need AJ Lee for.
Okay.
AJ Lee's not the draw there. Punk's the draw there.
Okay.
AJ Lee could have been.
Could Punk be a draw if he was just in the audience rooting on?
AJ Lee. He's only a draw if he's advertised. So if they advertise him as being in row 2, section B or whatever the fuck, then whatever. But if they put out a fucking radio commercial or whatever, or a flyer in Chicago and say, hey, Punk's going to be at his first wrestling show in 4 years and it's going to be here, they're going to be there. No doubt about that.
All right.
That's the only, by the way, for the record, that's the only city that works. If Punk returned in New York, it wouldn't be as big.
All right. Well, now let's taking this back to the fans, because we all got to listen to our fans, as Stephanie McMahon previously stated.
The Squad of O.
And we
have to listen to the Squad of O.
And we have to listen to our devoted fans and longtime listeners, or your devoted fans and longtime listeners.
No, they're ours. They're ours. Come on, you can partake.
One of them dropped a video on your Facebook page.
Oh, shit.
And
I think I know where you're headed with this,
another take on Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker. And it was called what again? It was like...
what's that? The ending of the streak?
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 30?
Was it a shoot? Right? Like, what was Brock doing a shoot? Like, was it for real?
Yeah, so the question that he had asked me was, well, he just wanted to get my opinion on it. He really asked me the question.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like one of those bullshit posts where it's just like, and your thoughts? Question mark?
Bullshit.
Well, I mean, he got more in depth personally, but on Facebook he was just like, I wanted you to see this and I wanted to get your thoughts. And basically the video
now
was...
let's share your thoughts with everybody, because you've already...
I spoke to him about... No, I haven't spoken to him. I told him that I wouldn't answer him, that I would do it on the show. So this is it. Right, so he's hearing it also for the first time right now.
But for the fans, first of all, describe what the video was about.
Okay.
And like...
Set it up. You want me to set it up?
I want you to set up the video and then tell me your take on it.
So the setup was this. So what happened was those what's it? Not Wrestle Talk. What is the guy? Not What Culture. It's I don't know, some company over in England, and they were the ones doing the Paul Heyman shows. There's these shows, let's call them Q&As, but where Paul Heyman sits on the stage, does all these, he talks to the audience, shares these stories, and gives his thoughts and opinions on the business, yada yada yada. It's like a one-man show, but not really. He just answers a bunch of shit. So one of the questions I guess he got was about Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker and the ending of the streak. I don't know the exact fan question. The controversy was his response to it, which was, There's a lot of conspiracy theories about it. He even said it's like the JFK assassination. A lot of conspiracy theories. How did it go about being done? How did they plan it? The streak. Was it supposed to be broken? Was it an audible? Was it a shoot? As you posed just a second ago, did Brock Lesnar just say fuck it and I'm just gonna pin this guy? Like he gave this really like I can't do Paul Heyman justice. Like I'm a hell of a promo, but I'm no Paul Heyman. And if you if you go on my Facebook, it's on my page because it was put there by somebody. You can see the whole thing. It's like 6 minutes long. And basically he just does his sell job on what if. What if Brock went to the building and he just said, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to drop him in the back of his fucking head. I'm going to knock his ass out. And I'm going to pin him as a shoot. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to beat him in the middle of the fucking ring at WrestleMania. And who the fuck's going to stop me? And what the fuck is anybody going to say? I'm Brock Lesnar, and even if I do get punished, they're not going to fire me. I just broke the streak. Now I'm the hottest commodity in the company. You can't fire me. And he posted that video on my page. My first reaction was, get the fuck out of my... I started laughing. I was in the laundry room in our building when he got posted, and I had tears streaming down my face because, first of all, Paul is a great salesman. Great salesman. He did one of those Jake Robert promos. So it's like
he was pausing.
Yeah, he's like at the edge of the seat with the microphone in front, and he's speaking so like intently. And he's just, what if Brock Lesnar? And I was like, stop. I'm gonna take literally 60 seconds to destroy this. Here's what's gonna happen. What would have happened if Brock Lesnar would have decided that in New Orleans he was going to shoot on The Undertaker and pin him in the middle of the ring, right? That was Paul's question. And if you look at the audience as they're listening to him speak, they're all like in awe, like they're really entranced in this thing. And I'm laughing because I answered that question in 2.7 seconds. And the answer is Brock Lesnar would have got his ass beat. That's what would have happened. Throw the whole roster in a hat and throw the names on the desk, because it would have. Listen, you have to have you have to have a set of balls on you, the size of planets, okay, to sit here and tell people in a whole locker room full of athletes, I'm gonna take your guy and I'm gonna put him in the ring and I'm gonna beat his ass and I'm gonna pin him on his show. And there's nothing any of you can do about it. That's bullshit. Because when he beat up Randy Orton, Chris Jericho kicked his ass. When he tried bullshit, he's tried shit 1,000 times. I would like to go on.
If he tried it 1,000 times,
I would like to go on record and say.
1,001?
But listen, I would like to go on record and say.
And his friend, no less.
His whole mystique about this whole unstoppable beast and a monster and a freak. He's a hell of an athlete. He is. He's a freak. And in a real fight, 9 times out of 10, he probably beat the shit out of the dude in front of him. But he's a human being and he's a fucking man. And for as long as I've heard the reputation between Lesnar and Taker, there's a mutual respect there. Lesnar would have never fucking done that. Never done that. Not to The Undertaker. Not on his show. As a shoot, I'm just going to pin this guy after everything Taker's done for him to get him over? No way. But had he decided to get his nuts in a bind and actually do it, first of all, Batista would have beat his ass. He was in the building that night. Randy Orton would have fought his ass. He was in the building that night. John Cena would have beat his ass. He was in the building that night. Kane would have beat his ass. He was there that night. Forget some of the newer guys, because maybe some of the newer guys would have been afraid of the repercussions or whatever. But the old heads
was Hunico?
Of course Hunico was there. Hunico would have just breathed on him and he would have been like, sorry, Mr. Sin Cara, I apologize. There's no fucking way. There's just no, I don't for a fucking second ever believe that not even Brock Lesnar has balls that big. No fucking way. Here's what I do think might have happened. Because the most logical thing, there's 2 logical things that could have happened. One, which is the one that I go with, is that it was planned. I don't think after everything he was going through at that time that he thought there would have been life after 30. I think what happened is that the dominoes fell incorrectly for him. What ended up happening was I think at 30, when he fought Lesnar, that was it for Taker. I think mentally at 30 he was done.
Just mentally? You mean
physically? Yeah. Because I think what happened was that after 29, when he fought Punk, which, to let's be fair, was the last great match he's ever had to this day. The last great match he had was with Punk, 29. I think the streak should have ended there. Okay, 29. The WrestleMania.
Again, I don't think the streak should have ever ended.
I agree, but if you're, but if you're going to end it, that should have been it. Because here's the scenario. Me and you were at that show, WrestleMania 29, where we're in the building. Punk lost the championship at the Royal Rumble, right? Now, how great a pay-per-view would it have been had Punk kept his title? Okay? Let's say he does the 2 pay-per-views with The Rock, but he doesn't lose the championship. Right now, he's beaten one of the greatest of all time twice, leading up to a WrestleMania match with The Undertaker. And now we're talking about a 500-plus day run as champion, which is one of the longest streaks in, 30, 40 years as champion, right? Against Taker's 20-0. Taker's 20-0, CM Punk is 500-plus days as champion. Streak versus streak. That should have been the main event of that show. Rock getting a hair up his ass through a monkey wrench in history. That would have been one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. And the match backed it up. It was a great match. We go to 30 now. He's broken down. He's admitting this to himself. He doesn't want to do this anymore.
It would have made
Remember, we saw all those videos of him, right? So now he loses to Brock because remember, Taker's logic is that he's a legit guy, right? He's legit. I'm being beat. The guy who broke the streak was a UFC champion. And for those of you who don't buy into that theory, hold on to that for a little bit because guess what? The UFC champion and Ronda Rousey is about to beat Asuka's streak. So hold on to that theory. Don't argue with me just yet because they're about to do it again. So anyway, UFC champion Brock Lesnar beats The Undertaker in a straight-up fight. That's what the match was billed as. It was a fight. And he loses the match. That's what I think happened. The other logical thing that I think could have happened, which is a popular theory, was that Taker was supposed to go up, but he had a concussion in the match, could barely get up, could barely move, and they called an audible midway through the match, and Vince just said, fuck this, do it. He went into the referee's ear, tell Brock, give me one more F5, hook the leg, go all the way, right? I'm assuming that could have been. Now, here's why I think it's a possible answer, not just because we could visibly see that Taker had lost it. Paul's reaction. He's a great salesman. I don't think that was all work. That whole open mouth, big-eyed, oh my God, I can't believe we just did it. And Lesnar with the whole laugh and the whole... I think they were just as stunned as the rest of us, which means that the audible could have happened. If my way, that I think the way it happened, that it was a great sell job. If it was a complete audible and that was a legit response by them, like, oh shit, they really pulled the trigger on this, I just broke the streak. It works either way. But a shoot, no fucking way. No fucking way. I will never buy that. A shoot, no way.
So let's continue this conversation on Brock because his contract is expiring soon.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
coming up soon.
It is. So what do you think he is going to do?
I think he's gone. Here's the thing. I'm not a UFC guy. I've said that on my show a couple times. I care not for the UFC. I'm a WWE guy all the way. I love pro wrestling. If he is done,
for him,
if he's done,
WWE is easy money.
Yeah, no, and he's been raping us for years. And listen, we've gotten our fair share of it. You know, we've gotten a lot of money out of him too, but I don't think it equates. To be honest with you, from what I understand, I think he's making double-digit money for only a quarter maybe of the appearances that other people make. So I don't know. I mean, we just said earlier about cost cutting, about trying to save some money here and there. I think the point of bringing in Brock was to give rubs to a lot of guys. When he first came in, he was wrestling the same olds. Triple H, John Cena, The Undertaker. When he started wrestling the Dean Ambroses and the Braun Strowmans and the Samoa Joes, I think that's when they really started getting their money's worth out of him because it made those opponents look legit. Like the Samoa Joe Lesnar match wasn't a great match, but it served its purpose because when it was over, Joe was over like fucking Rover. Same thing with Strowman. Same thing with Strowman. When Strowman was a tough guy, he was a brute. Everyone liked what he was doing. When he went toe to toe with Lesnar, and he came off, and you know, Joe Lesnar and Joe were even keel. They went back and forth. Lesnar actually made Strowman destroyed Lesnar on multiple occasions. He put Lesnar on a stretcher at SummerSlam. That was something Lesnar had never done before for somebody. He had never gone that far before.
I feel like this answers more of, do you think the WWE is going to renew rather than
but here's the thing.
Brock is going to
do
I'm
next. Saying all this because
do you think he's going to stay, or you think he's going to leave?
I'm saying all this because I think I'm supporting the answer of him leaving, because I think they, for the money that he's charging, I think they got as much out of him as they could. There really is no need to. What's the point at this point? Not only has his stock with the fans run out, because for a few years there he was as hot as he's ever been, but now he's kind of on that down decline. And for someone who's making double-digit millions, you don't want to be on the down decline. I need you up at all times, and he's not at the moment. There's a lot of guys right now. I think Strowman is the clear substitute.
All right. Well, if Brock Lesnar leaves,
I don't care what he does. I don't
Paul
care.
Heyman. Like, who do you think will
Paul's
be the
out.
next Paul Heyman guy?
There is no more Paul Heyman.
You think Paul Heyman's going to leave
I
too?
think Paul Heyman's gone.
You
now
think
here's
he's attached to the hip to Brock?
No, it's not being attached to the hip. It's just,
why can't he just do what he does and be another manager?
Because it's not successful with anybody else. Unfortunately for Paul, and this is coming from someone who coming from me, who is on a certain lower level, I never want to place critique and criticism. That's not my place to do, but the facts are the facts. And when he was put on other people, it didn't work. He's managed a few times other people in the new era. When he did Cesaro, and remember he did the Heyman guys thing where he was doing Curtis Axel, and it doesn't work. His sell job is easier when the person he's representing carries his own weight. If the only way you can get over is Heyman's promos, it will not work. Lesnar was legit. NCAA heavyweight champion, multiple-time WWE champion, UFC champion, former NFL player. That's legit stats. So when Heyman starts doing his shtick, it comes off great because the stat sheet looks good. When you're Curtis Axel and your only claim to fame is an Intercontinental title and once upon a time being Mr. Perfect Sperm, it doesn't work. That's not enough for Heyman to use. It's hard for Heyman to look at an opponent and say, Curtis Axel's going to beat your ass. No one buys it. When he did it with Cesaro, it felt a little bit more real, but the booking didn't back Heyman's speeches. Heyman can talk up Brock, and it sells easy because they're going to book Brock great. So it looks good on Heyman. When he talks great for Cesaro, but Cesaro's struggling to win the U.S. title, it doesn't work. That's why, like, if you take him off Brock, okay, Brock leaves, you want to hang on to Paul because Paul's a great salesman. Who in the fuck do you put him on that makes any kind of sense? Unless you put him on another top guy, it doesn't make sense. And how many top guys do we have that need a manager? Not many. We don't really have any top guys where Heyman would be useful to them.
True. I completely agree.
Maybe, and I've seen this online, and maybe it would work because there's a history there. Maybe Joe. But I think, again,
I don't like that.
Because Joe has a background, a tough guy background, kind of like Brock. The only problem is that Joe doesn't have the resume that Brock has. Yeah, it's a harder sell still. Yeah, like Joe has a backing for. He's already over without a mouthpiece. So
I don't like it at all.
But I'm just trying to find a top guy. You can't put him on a lower tier guy. It doesn't work. That's a failed project. Right. It has to be a top guy, and not a lot of top guys really need a Paul Heyman. If they're on the top right now, based on the way that they script things, there's really no need. That's why there's no managers in WWE. Yeah. There's none. That's why being a manager now in the Indies is very difficult because that's as high as you're going to get. There's not even Impact. Impact Wrestling doesn't really have any managers. Lucha Underground is a movie, so they don't really have just the manager position is almost practically extinct at this point. Because even on the Indies, the ones that do it don't know how to do it.
He's the last surviving one. No.
He's not even, even he says, Paul Heyman has gone on record saying, I'm not really a manager. I really do, when I say I'm an advocate, I mean it. I'm just for him. It's just like this weird thing. Like managers go from people to people. He's literally Lesnar's advocate. He wouldn't fit literally anywhere else.
All right. So last
I've been
but
drinking,
not
man.
least,
I'm not at my best. What happened?
last but not least, and I'm not gonna say last but not leastly because
Because
that's
then that would
fucked up,
then
and
that would
be Daniel Bryan.
then that
who
would
did
be
that
gimmick
grammatical error.
gimmick infringement. Yeah, we haven't talked about Daniel, man. He's back.
We didn't. I completely forgot to
Don't
bring
ever
him
say that
up.
again.
I
For those of you
apologize.
wondering at home, because I don't know if you mentioned it, we're airing on Wednesday, but we're filming it Tuesday night, which was SmackDown Live night. So Daniel did his thing tonight.
Yep, he just made
He's
his
back.
announcement that he is.
I have a whole speech
back.
ready for that, but I think we're too deep into this show to have that speech. So.
Yes, you can save it for next week.
I
or
will
like a
save it.
side episode.
And I think people are going to be very upset with me when I say it, but that's all right. They'll get over it.
Okay.
Well, look, there he is now. Yeah.
My last but not least was
Last but not least, hit me with it.
asking you a
100%. Here
couple
we
of-
go.
couple of questions to get to know more about you because there's more to Orsini than eat, sleep,
You're-
shit, talk about wrestling, and
You're
make love to
asking-
wife and repeat.
You're asking me questions?
I'm asking you.
You know
questions.
everything there is to know about me.
But your audience does not know. So I just have a couple of questions to know more about Anthony. Know
Who?
more about. Oh,
Go ahead.
let's go back.
Go ahead.
To get to know more about Orsini and Orsini's
Yes.
Uncensored Mind.
Okay.
So the first question I had was, what was the moment that made you start thinking about starting a podcast?
What was the moment
Mm-hmm.
where I said, yeah, I got to do a fucking podcast?
Mm-hmm. Were you just on the bowl? Were you like
Was I on the bowl?
doing laundry? Were you like
Was I on
drinking
the
a beer in
bowl?
a bar? Like were you like
I
in
can
the
see
ring
I can see where the
listening to
misconception
another podcast?
I can see where the misconception was because I do my best thinking on the bowl. But no.
The first moment you thought I should start my own.
Well, the
podcast."
first moment was like a long time ago, like the FSW days, 2012. I back when they weren't so rampant. As I chose the wrong time to do this. I should have did it when I said it. Can you imagine how many episodes I would have by now if I would have did it back then? I wanted to do it in 2012 originally. I came up with the original like basis, like the foundation of Orsini's Uncensored Mind was the exclusive interviews we used to do with the Ludus. Remember when I used to like have the laptop out and just have like the webcam on us, and I would do like these little interviews. The original idea was a web series called Public Service Announcements, which for some reason, yeah, you remember now, right? Yeah.
I remember. I
Which-
did a logo for you.
You did.
I did.
I still have
several.
it. I still have it. No. I still have it. It's funny if you go
And
on
that
Facebook.
and that should be your image.
If you
for
go-
this week's
For this week's
episode
for this episode right here.
was the original logo and
So
name
you did
that I
a-
was thinking for
Yeah,
you.
so you did a logo for me for public service announcements, and what ended up happening with that was, like it got pretty far. Like we had logos. You made a logo for me. I made a Facebook page for it. Because Facebook is so hard to get off of. You can never ever really truly delete shit from Facebook. Like the page still exists. Not the page. I'm sorry, the group. I made like a Facebook group for some reason, like right off the back. So if you search AJ Orsini public service announcements, it's like one person in it, me, and then I can't get out of it for some reason. It won't go away. So like the original idea was like a long time ago, and what ended up happening was like, I don't know, my actual career started picking up, and I wasn't sure. Like that was at the beginning of my wrestling career.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure how that would work,
No,
being a
you-
podcast and being in the wrestling
You just
business.
didn't think you would have time because your weekends
Not so much
were
time,
so,
but I didn't really know how to
like,
balance. I didn't really know
Yeah.
how to balance being a show host and being in the business. It was weird, like because to be a show host, you have to be unbiased. You have to tell stories as you see them, and I didn't. I was so early in my career that I was afraid that if I started going on a podcast and critiquing Raw or talking about indie shows that I'm not on and shitting on people, that I would like get blackballed and I wouldn't get any book. I don't know. I got scared out of it. So I didn't want to like piss anybody off. That was years ago when I still like really, really wanted to be in the business and I would like do anything. And now I'm like this old cagey veteran that just
Oh, yeah.
doesn't
Well,
care
I
about
mean,
life anymore. So
he-
he's like, fuck it. I don't care what bridge I burn at this point.
You sort of now answered question number 2, which what was the original content you were thinking about?
Actually, I
Talking
had a
about
more
on the podcast.
kid-friendly approach. What happened was public service announcements was supposed to originally be a 2-part. It was dual-faceted. It was supposed to have a web series vibe with YouTube videos as well as audio content, which I'm still going to do for this show. I haven't done much video for this show because, again, now my time is very scarce. Before, I had all the time in the world, especially when I was working in that warehouse job. But now I don't have much time to do video. Now I barely have enough time to really do the audio, and then that's it. But like over the summer coming up, turn up, do some more video stuff, and really turn it out. But that was the original idea for public service announcements. It was going to be like this web series. I was going to use all these wrestling stars that I know and work with, and I was going to use them on my show. And now I'm still going to do that here because
I seriously feel like sometimes I'm like the dude in the relationship. I completely forgot about that.
Public service announcement.
That
You're totally
public
the dude
service,
in this relationship.
announcement, because my next question is, if you weren't Orsini's Uncensored Mind, what would you be named? And I guess you would be named Public Service Announcement. But I know you were thinking of other, like recently when you were trying to revamp and redo this all over again.
I wanted something new, yeah.
Because
it
came back to you, and it had been a long time since the original thought.
Yeah.
To the more recent thought. Like, what names were you coming up with now?
Public service announcements.
Because I remember you telling me Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and as soon as you said that, I didn't even want to fucking hear the other ones. I was like, that's it.
Yeah, you were the one that confirmed the name. I had drew up like 17 names for this show.
I didn't even want to hear the other ones, the other names.
That was like the fifth one I
that's
pitched
the
you,
one.
and it was like, that was it. That's the one.
Yeah,
Because it fit more to
but the thing is that you were kind of like, are you sure? I was like, yes. You're like, really? And I'm like, no, go for it. Like, that
Yeah,
is you.
There was two.
That's you.
There was
Like,
two
that's who you
criterias
are.
there was two things that I wanted to make sure I didn't do for my show name. One was include the name wrestling. For some reason,
Or podcasting it. I remember that.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, sure, okay, wrestling and podcast. Having the word wrestling in your podcast is just so weird. And the second offense that I didn't want to commit is even worse, which is naming your podcast after wrestling jargon. I didn't want like hit the ropes podcast or like pin the shoulders to the mat podcast. Like when you do those, there's like a million podcast shows out where it's like all wrestling jargon, where it's like fire up the comeback podcast.
No,
and 9 times out of 10, the people who have the wrestling jargon name for their podcast are not wrestlers or have never been in the wrestling business. They just Googled some terms and then that's where they come back.
So I know that it was an original, like your original concept was in 2012, and then you
it
thought
started
about it again,
there and then
you thought
built
about
up
it
over time.
again
Yeah.
Now, so now what do you hope to accomplish with this podcast?
Well, to be fair, and I've been honest about this, the only reason the podcast finally happened was school. Because what ended up happening is that while I was physically traveling to all the shows, and you were there for like 95% of the shit that I went to, going from weekend to weekend, show to show, we were doing 4 or 5 shows a weekend. We were busy, and we were making time like around our own personal shit to make these shows. I really didn't feel comfortable doing the podcast and doing the shows. So what ended up happening is when I started school, the shows kind of went away. So with no shows, I really didn't have a reason not to do it, because the podcast, as you can see, we're here at the House of O right now. This is the one wrestling thing I can do from the comfort of my own home. I don't have to leave my family to do it. I don't have to scope out on school to do it. I could find time to do my schoolwork and do my podcast. That's another reason why I keep the podcast to an hour. I don't really feel like I need to sit here for 3 hours to get my point across. If you can't be entertained in 60 minutes, then I'm not that entertaining. That's pretty much that. I've recently, my shows have been averaging now, if you think about it, an hour and 10 minutes, the solo shows, but that's just because I plug a lot of shit now. I got a lot of platforms that I'm on, a lot of stuff, so it kills time. But like the interviews are a little long, but for the most part, I try really hard to stick to anywhere from 60 to 70 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I just want to make sure that as far as what I'm trying to accomplish, to be honest with you, I don't really have a set goal as for the podcast. I said it at episode 1, and now we're at episode 25. It's been 25 weeks in a row, consistently, no missed episodes. Actually, there's an extra one in there. 17
So
was a Sunday show.
Is that an achievement unlocked? Never missed an episode.
So far,
Bling.
I wouldn't
Shows
bling
on
it
the
yet
screen.
because we'll see how far we go with the streak before we bling. The 1 week I missed, then it will bling. 20, 200 episodes in a row, like whatever. But it's the goal. I never really had a goal. The goal for me was just to have fun.
So if you
it was an
never had a
outlet.
goal, then how do you measure your success so far?
I don't. It's weird to explain, especially for people who like are really focused and targeting on a specific accomplishment. Like, I needed an outlet. That's about as far as I thought it through. I wanted to talk wrestling. I wanted to talk movies. I wanted to talk comic books. I wanted to talk TV shows.
And
I wanted
everybody
to talk.
said I was a charismatic guy. And people would listen. So let's see. right?
Well, that's part of it. People used to always tell me all the time is like, you have a very cool opinion on things and locker room talk and just overall just being witty with friends. And the GOAT interview, like, that was a lot of fun to do, and there was a lot of laughs going on, and people were always like, well, people would be interested in what you have to say. I didn't believe them. So I said episode 1, I said, I don't really care. I said this legit. Like, you weren't there when I filmed it. I don't even know if you've heard one. But I said legit, like, I don't do this for fans. I don't.
You're not sure if I've ever heard one.
No. I'm not sure if you heard the first one.
Oh, okay.
Rules and regulations.
I was there in the living
I
room.
said it in the, yeah, you were actually. Yeah, you actually been in the living room for a few of these. It's probably why you don't download them. It doesn't affect my number, but I know you hear them. But I said the first episode, I don't do this for fans.
Either I'm in the living room or in the bedroom putting the baby to sleep. But
Yeah.
I still hear him.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, even from afar. But I said in episode 1, I said, I'm not doing this for fans. I'm not doing this for anybody else. Like, this is the one selfish thing that I do for me. I do it because it's fun. It gives me an outlet. And I said episode 1, I don't really give a shit if anybody downloads it. I'm having fun, and I'm going to keep doing them until they're no longer fun. Fortunately for me, a lot of people have downloaded them. I didn't actually anticipate that. I don't want to get into the numbers, obviously, because that's, I don't want to set a bar that I may or may not reach. I don't want to put that pressure on myself. But I personally have been really extremely happy with the numbers, not just with the downloads, but for the different platforms. People have been checking me out on the iTunes. They've been checking me out on TuneIn was the last one I got, but TuneIn has been huge for me. When you go on the Podbean website as a user, when you upload your shit, it not only tells you what platform they're using to listen to you, but it breaks down geographically where in the world and in the country people listen to you. So it's amazing to me that on my spare time, sometimes I'll just check out the map. And like for instance, I'm huge in California right now. Like, I don't even know why. I don't know anybody in California, but like at least 20% of my downloads have come from California. I got people in Texas downloading me. For some reason, I got super excited about that one person in Missouri. So if you're listening to me, Missouri, thank you for downloading. So like it's happened. I got some Alaskan people. I still think it's my cousin, but I haven't confirmed. Some Hawaiians have listened to me. Thank you. Aloha. And there's a lot of things going on. Like, people are listening to my voice in places that I really didn't think that they could. And that's the beauty of technology, because when I was in the ring announcing, I was being heard by 100, 200 people at best. That one hog show, like 2,000 people. And now I'm sitting in my house with, some good equipment and some good people, and I'm probably being more heard now than when I was going to shows. So I don't really have a goal in mind for it. I'm just like Steve Austin said about the Attitude Era. I'm just putting more wood on the fire and just trying to see how far I can go.
So far, how hard is it to put a podcast together? Like, what has been the most difficult parts of putting this podcast together?
To me, the most difficult part is finding the time. Because I can have a piece of paper in front of me. I've done this. Like, I 9 times out of 10, I have a Word document with bullet points. Because you know me, I'm not a big scripter. I like speaking off the top of my head for literally everything. I've done funerals off the top of my head. I did our wedding off the top of my head. I've done promos in ring off the top of my head. Everything is off the top of my head. I don't like being scripted. I like giving being given a bullet point and just going. So I have Word documents sometimes in front of me. Sometimes I'll be in school and I'll have like literal loose leaf paper, old school fucking loose leaf paper with like bullet points and ideas. And sometimes I'll look up like I did the Grand Slam champion thing, so I had to look up all these champions and what they did. So I'll do my homework every now and then. But the only really hard part for me is finding the time, because it's not just the podcast. I have so many fucking ideas in my head of where I want to take this and just branch out of. Like, the podcast is cool, but it's only an hour. I still take the time sometimes to clip out the shows and clip them on for YouTube so people can get samples of them. I have extra content on the YouTube channel, but stuff that never made the podcast that were access. I didn't want to just delete because they were like good shit. And so I put them on the YouTube. I've got promos on there that I did way back in the day and commentating videos. Like, just finding the time to really sell myself, I think, is the most difficult part, because I know that I can sell myself. I just don't have the time to do it. So I'm hoping organically it happens on its own. Like, I'm getting a lot of downloads and I'm getting a lot of shares and tags now, and I'm not even trying. Like, that as hard as I really feel like I could. If I really had like a good month of just no responsibilities, just focusing on the podcast, I think I would have like a powerhouse on my hands. I really do believe that. I really do. If I pushed it, I would. But I'm running on so many gears right now on so many different things that I don't really have time. So that's kind of the hard part.
Well, I hope everybody, got the chance to get personal with you and really get the origin story of Orsini's Uncensored Mind.
These were more podcast related questions. I was surprised when you said more about me. I thought you were going to.
Well, it was more about you and the podcast.
Okay,
you know what I mean.
I thought you were going to get like really in depth on like me. I was like, oh shit,
no.
I think that's scary. A lot of that shit in the past is not so good.
So, to end it, like all your other interviews, let's end it with the R.A.Fs.
Okay.
Random as fucks. And we're going to do it slightly different this time. We're kind of going to do it newlywed style, where AJ Orsini is going to leave the room. I'm going to read the R.A.Fs and how I think he's going to answer them. And then he's going to come back out and give us his answers. And this is no way going to indicate how strong or weak our relationship are. Or is. It does not mean that we're heading for divorce. And it's not going to show who's the better listener. So let's get started.
All right, so I'm going to leave the room.
Legit leave the fucking room. So bye.
Adios. I'm going to actually...
Hasta luego.
Yeah, I'm going to leave. All right, so do your thing.
Yes. Fuck off. This will be a great shit break. All right, so to continue. The first raft is, would you rather change your race or gender? I think he would say his gender. Who would not want their own pair of boobs? If he had to have a superhero power, what would it be? Hold on 1 second. That bathroom door better be closed. If he had to have a superhero power, what would it be? I think he would choose kind of like a Xavier, Professor X type, where he could just do whatever he wants with his mind and make anybody do what he wants with his mind. If he says it, it's there. Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? I think he might say Mortal Kombat. What is one thing that I do that he hates the most? And I would have to say it's either... There's several things. One is my nasty ass burps sometimes. They can kind of get wet and nasty, and he hates the way they linger and it sounds. Or he may go the route of my loud ass sneezes. What is your most expensive piece of clothing? Fucking expensive suit he got for one of his friends for his wedding. How many WWE shirts do you own? If I was to estimate without going over, I'm going to say a good 25. What's your favorite movie quote? First thing about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. What's your favorite sci-fi film or program? Firefly. Or if you had a warning label, what would it be? If you don't want to know the truth, don't fucking ask me. So that is what I think. And now I'm going to bring him back in the room and see what are his answers. All right, so here are our 9 raps. Are you ready for the 9 raps?
I'm ready to go.
All right. Would you rather change your race or gender?
Well, I'm multiple races. I'm not a multiple racist. I'm multiple races. Oh, jeez. I guess race, because I really don't want to be a woman.
Why not? Boobs.
Boobs are awesome, but boobs don't overcome periods and pregnancies, unfortunately.
Jesus.
Those are 2 of my least favorite things on the planet.
All right, number 2. If you had to choose a superhero power, what would it be?
Every kid has an answer to this question. I'll go a healing factor. I like the idea of healing factor. I can bump it. I can bump and not feel it. It's awesome.
Of course, he chooses the opposite of me. All right.
Wait, what did you pick?
And you're gonna see this continuous trend.
No. What did you pick for superpower?
I thought you were gonna Dr. Manhattan it and be like, have the power of the mind. Whatever you want happens. If you want them to explode, they explode. If you want them to disintegrate, they disintegrate. If you want to put them in an alternate universe, they go into an alternate universe. Your mind.
It's actually a better answer than mine.
Is omnipotent. All right.
Omnipotent.
Yes, you like my vocabulary?
I thought it was omnipotent. That's what I thought it was. Is it not omnipotent?
You need to look it up. Next.
All right.
Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Oh, Street Fighter all day, bro.
Yeah, fuck you. All right.
Wait. You picked Mortal Kombat?
I did.
I never talk about Mortal Kombat.
You never sing the song randomly here and there?
First of all, the song's OD.
Okay.
That's not.
I mean, what would give me the impression you like Mortal Kombat?
You're talking about the Mortal Kombat movie thing? Ding 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 ding.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right.
Awesome.
Ready? What is one thing that I do that you hate the most?
One thing. I can only pick one thing.
Only one.
She's only giving me a hall pass on one. One thing. Number 1 on my list was wet burps. It's like a mini vomit. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a bubbly burp. It's the worst thing ever. That and the sneezes. You sneeze with the power of 1,000 suns. Your sneeze is so loud. Like I have a lot of female coworkers, and they'll, hey, too, and you shake the room. You scared the shit out of our son the other day with a sneeze.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I guess that's my superhero power.
Yes, yeah. You're like Quake with a sneeze.
Oh, I'm like Gecko from PJ Masks.
Oh, okay. Dude, seriously, we couldn't get that far without a kid show reference. Jesus Christ! All right,
what is your most expensive piece of clothing?
Oh, it's got to be the suit. I bought a groomsman suit for my friend Alex Polgreen's wedding, and that's definitely the most expensive thing I've ever fucking bought in my entire fucking life. And believe me, folks, I pitched a fit when I had to fucking buy it because it was like, that's friendship right there.
Like, should I
all
not?
Those years of coming over to my house for pay-per-views paid off for him.
You know what? I'll just skip the wedding altogether.
You know, word is like, how much do I support this union? How much am I willing to spend?
How many WWE shirts do you own? And try not to go over.
Trying to go over. Well, before I answer this question, I would like to let my audience know that a lot of these were either given to me or purchased long before I got into the business, so you can leave the mark conversations to yourself.
Yes, you're welcome to me.
Oh yeah, you bought like most of
I
them.
bought practically all of them.
Yeah, like Christmas presents,
I
birthday
think you
gifts.
had a Jeff Hardy before me. You had a Taz before me.
Yeah, but even those,
think
the Hardy
that's
Boy
it.
was given to me.
No, you had 2 before me. Only 2. You had the orange Taz,
Orange
And
Taz,
you
which
had a
was
Purple
given to me.
Hardy.
Purple Hardy was a gift also.
and that's it.
Uh,
I bought you all
you know
of
what's funny? The very first wrestling shirt
I
I ever
bought your own Dudley Boys.
Team 3D.
Team
yeah.
3D.
Yeah, I bought that one.
At Coney Island. When TNA was at Coney Island.
Coney Island, yeah.
Yeah, and you bought one at the Manhattan Ballroom, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was.
Manhattan Ballroom. No. You bought those.
No, it was the same day I bought my Tower Rising shirt.
Yeah.
You also bought a shirt.
Briscoes.
The Briscoes, okay. The Briscoes, all right.
Oh, I mean, we may be confusing because Terror Rising is a TNA shirt.
Yeah.
I did buy the Briscoes shirt though.
Yeah,
The
but
Man Up one.
yeah.
You know the very little fun fact: the very first wrestling shirt I ever bought was not for me. At a Hartford Civic Center house show, I bought a China shirt for my mom. She was a big China fan.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that I bought these shirts because I'm continuing the legacy. Bought my son his first WWE shirt. He's
Yes,
got
he
an
has his first WWE shirt, AJ Styles.
phenomenal shirt.
Just like
Baby
Mama.
blue. 3T because boy turned 3. And so
Yeah, I spoke about the third birthday
I have to
weekend
take a
on here.
picture, and he's one day gonna rock his shirt when mommy and
WrestleMania.
daddy rocks their shirts.
Yeah, we're gonna wear. He's wearing the AJ shirt for WrestleMania.
I have an AJ shirt.
You're wearing an AJ shirt as well.
Well, I have the TNA AJ shirt.
That doesn't matter. It's AJ
I don't
Styles.
have the.
Is that your
dates.
attire for WrestleMania? Because mine is already. My WrestleMania attire was chosen by you many months ago.
What?
Oh, my Maharaja, of course.
Oh.
My
yes.
Christmas gift. My wife
Yes.
bought me
Yes.
the Jinder Mahal.
But if
The
he wears that,
Maharaja.
he also has to wear the unicorn headband.
The next. Oh yeah, she bought me the New Day unicorn headband,
yeah.
which I will rock.
I needed a gag gift.
Don't say gag gift and then unicorn horn like in the same sentence.
Why not?
So, what's the next one? Come on, what's the next one? Come on.
What's your favorite movie quote?
Favorite movie quote?
I thought you were gonna go from Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. Anything from Talladega Nights is clearly awesome. I don't really have a favorite, like number one favorite. I have many favorites, but
and I thought that after rethinking this question, because I originally didn't think from that movie. I thought something else.
what was your pick? What did you tell the podcast your pick was?
I don't know if I should tell you. You should probably just
Okay,
listen
well.
to the show when you edit it.
I'll go back later. And be like,
No,
what
I
a fool.
I thought you were gonna go Fight Club. First movie
Fight
about
Club?
Fight Club.
No,
You
Fight
know,
Club's my
talk
favorite
about
movie
Fight
of all
Club.
time. Not very quotable though. There weren't too many quotes.
Well, I didn't ask
Like
what's your favorite quotable movie. Just what's your favorite
you
movie
decide your
quote?
level of involvement. That's like one of my favorite Fight Club quotes. But no, it's I'm really big into the comedy stuff. If you couldn't tell by my TV show list, like I'm really big into the comedy stuff. So for some reason, whenever someone like tells me about movie quotes, Will Ferrell for some reason always pops into my fucking head. And one of my favorite Will Ferrell quotes comes from Blaze of Glory when he was talking about the hairbrush. But the handle was made from whalebone, and like it was like really special brush. He said, "No lie, no exaggeration. I could not love a human baby as much as I love this brush." I was like, "What the fuck?" That is so great. There's so many great lines though, especially like even from that movie.
What's your favorite sci-fi film or program?
Film complicates things, but I'm still gonna say Firefly.
And last,
Because even the film Serenity,
yes.
still great. One of my favorite films.
Last question: if you had a warning label, what would it be?
If I had a warning label,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, if I had a warning label, like people should beware. It would be like a really opinion based one. It would be like when people ask me for my opinion and shit. Like I guess the biggest disclaimer would probably fucking be like if you want to ask somebody a question and you want them to tell you what you want to hear, don't come to me. Like I'm 35 years old. I'm already in my old man stage. I'm in complete I don't give a fuck stage. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. It could be positive. It could be negative. It could be in the middle. It's just going to be what it is. I just call it like I see it. So, like if you want a real opinion, come to me. If you want to just get fluffed and you just want to hear positive shit, then just don't bother with me.
So those are your 9 raps. And
those were good.
Out of 9, I think I got about.
You didn't ask me any sex questions,
5.
so that's good.
I mean, I know all the answers to those.
Yeah, but
do I really want the audience?
I was just gonna say, yeah,
whether
like,
or not you like to hit it
you
doggy or like you.
Tell them how I smash.
You like it nice and slow.
No, you know what's funny is that.
Or do you like to fuck? Do you like to make love? Or do you like to fuck?
That do you like? Quickly before the fall grows in. That do you like?
Okay, if I'm gonna ask any of the favorite raps that ever came up with that you've given previous people, it's gonna be the one that cracked up the goat the most.
Okay.
What is your tickle spot?
Tickle spot.
I don't think that Mike was able to get an answer out.
I don't think Mike gave an answer. Yeah.
He was dying.
I listened back to it. I don't think any of them really gave a legit answer. Now that I'm thinking about it.
No. I think Cage said something like armpit or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
Cage was trying to keep it kayfabe for the world because tickle spot's very important for people. So I think you can answer this question better than me. I don't even tickle spot. I mean the obvious
your feet.
I failed to say feet. Probably my feet though. Like my feet. I have not so great feet. So I don't want anybody near my feet in the first place because it's not my most cosmetically pleasing area to look at. Secondly, it's dramatically out of controlly ticklish for some reason. Like putting on socks could be an ordeal for me.
But
if I don't put them on
it's not even like a ticklish spot where he's like hee. It's I want to kill you.
No, it's a
murder you.
Like whenever it's
you
tickle,
me.
I have
it's
to
not a fun
I
tickle.
start frantically trying to get away from you.
No, you look like
I'll fight you.
Exactly.
I'll fight you.
You want to frantically.
If you try to tickle me, I will
kill me.
I
and
will
kick me
swing on you.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like being tickled.
Yeah. So okay, so out of 10 raps, I think I got
9 raps.
6. Right. Well, if you had the tickle spot, I knew that.
Oh yeah, you know what? My math is off. You're right about that.
Those are our 10 raps. Now don't go making your own opinions now whether or not we're the strong ass couple that you thought we were, or we have weaknesses, but we are who we are. But I always said in the past, we are 100%, I feel like, different from each other and opposites. You know what I mean? Like complete opposites. If I said the sky was blue, he would tell me it's purple even though it's blue.
I think that's a common misconception with relationships. Where it's like people have this.
We're completely different down to blood type. And the day I found out that we were completely different down to blood type, I said, "Fuck this shit! I can't do this no more."
What's my blood type? What do you mean we're different?
Like I'm B negative, he's B positive. Like,
oh yeah, I remember that. Okay, yeah, I remember that conversation. Yeah. We found that out when you got pregnant. Like that was like a precautionary thing we had to take. We found out our blood types. Yeah.
So I mean, it's crazy, but I hope that you guys enjoy.
I think before you cut it off, I think that's one of the misconceptions. One day we have to do an episode like this because I really do think people need our help. Because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about relationships, where it's just like for some reason people feel like they lose themselves in this. I don't think you've lost yourself in this relationship, right?
No, I just know Anthony better than himself.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing. Like you stayed yourself, I stayed me, and then we just kind of adapted in some sort of way to where like a cohabitation was possible. But I don't think people really you don't have to lose yourself. Some people do. Some people do. Like they really lose themselves in their partners.
I think that we're really digressing into another heavy.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said another episode. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. That's another
episode. Oh, maybe because this September is our 15th anniversary. Maybe we could do something like before that, leading into our related? Do some relationship shit. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd invite another couple for a roundtable, but I don't know anybody else who's been around.
Do like a newlywed game.
Who do we know who's been around? Who's been together nearly as long as us?
Nobody.
No, Chanel.
Chanel.
They've been together, what, like 11 years?
Shout out to Kmart. Download this episode.
Download the
and
episode.
share it. Shout out. Yeah.
Not many. We don't know. We're like the museum exhibit. Not a lot of people have been around for as long as we are.
We
We're
are.
grandma and grandpa to all our friends.
I am grandma.
Abuelito.
No,
I'm sorry, you were wrapping up. That's me.
I'm abuelita, okay?
No, I'm abuelito. But go ahead. You were wrapping up.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was wrapping up, but
Bring it on home, Mama O.
that you guys enjoyed this show. I hope you enjoyed.
We did something different tonight. You did really
Exactly.
good.
The revamped version for the 25th.
So
show.
glad you didn't lead me down the China path. I'm saving that bitch.
God. But I hope that you guys all enjoyed it. As compared to my first guest appearance,
Your first
where
outing?
I was extremely nervous. I think this second time around, you saw a more confident Mrs. O on the air.
Confidant.
But now I'm gonna send it on over to Mr. Orsini so that he can plug away, so that you guys know how to download his shit, how to listen to his shit. You know, when you're on the train to work, downtime, in the bathtub, on the toilet. You know what I mean? While you're waiting,
I'm sure most of you
for
listen to me
the
on the
clothes
toilet.
to dry. Listen to his
Waiting
show.
for the clothes to
Okay,
dry.
and as my son always says at the end of the show, please listen to Orsini's show.
I used that clip too with the hush. Hush! Everybody hush! That's pretty cool. So, plugging time. If you're listening to this on the Podbean app, thank you very much for downloading. It's ajoum.podbean.com. That is the main source of all of Orsini Uncensored Mind episodes. That's where I upload everything, and then it feeds off into my other platforms. What platforms, you ask? That is iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, and the TuneIn Radio app. I have other platforms that I will be applying for and trying to get into, but those are the four major ones that I have at the moment. So thank you guys once again for downloading and listening. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I just hope that maybe with the listeners I can get welcome back to the show.
Welcome
Maybe
back.
They liked listening to
You
me
literally
this
live in the
time.
studio.
And no, but it's up to the fans. You know, we listen to you fans, you know, and
Absolutely.
and we respect you. And we would hope that if you wanted Mrs. O back, we will give you Mrs. O. But no, this is Mr. Orsini's show, so there will not be like an NXT type takeover, and I won't take over his show again. It was just a special 25th episode celebration.
Not
and I hope
special.
you
You'll be
guys,
back.
Enjoyed.
You'll be back. Everyone comes. You all come back. All right, then. So, yeah, this is episode 25. I'll check you guys next week.
Anyway, house. Listen to my daddy so. Or see the extra line.